Today we're going to look at the Packed Pro and the Signature Parcel, two very similarly designed, lower-priced strollers from Joie that we've had requests on the channel to compare. So let's jump straight into it then, looking at the advantages and disadvantages of each model in turn, and focusing on their differences in terms of child comfort, ease of use, and driving characteristics, before ending with a discussion of price and under what conditions and uses they may be worth purchasing. And starting off with the Packed Pro, the model clocks in at 6.3 kilos and folds down to 66 by 47 by 24 centimeters. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and 4.5 in the underslung storage basket. As far as child comfort is concerned, the Packed Pro has a newborn acceptable recline, though its upright position is a bit too sloped in my opinion. Looking at seat size, the Packed Pro has a width of 34 centimeters, a length for the sitting surface of 88, meaning the combined lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest, and a total longer length of 117 when taking into account space under the canopy with the seat upright, and the length to the front frame mounted footrest. As far as other aspects of the seat are concerned, the Packed Pro feels a bit on the cheap side, unfortunately, with regards to the quality of the textiles, its pretty thin padding, and the fact that the shoulder straps have to be rethreaded to change elevation, and in that the canopy is a bit short for providing sun coverage when the seat is reclined, at least with a smaller child. Moving on to parent comfort, the Packed Pro's handle stands at a fixed height of 102 centimeters, while its shopping basket is acceptably sized, but unpleasant to access in my opinion, due to the height of the rear lip. With regards to folding, the activation mechanisms on the handle are a bit loose, which sometimes makes them fiddly to use, though the process is one-handed, and the Packed Pro auto-folds, which can be a convenient feature when carrying a child in your other arm. When folded, the Packed Pro is light to lift, but the folded dimensions are unfortunately a bit too tall for the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage. As far as how the Packed Pro feels to use, it's a bit on the light and weak side, with a few riveted points that bend and strain as you steer, making the model feel fragile right out of the box and also likely to loosen a lot over time. Looking at driving, the Packed Pro has good-sized wheels for an ultra-compact, 6 inches in the front and 6.3 in the back, and noticeable four-wheel suspension that allows it to tackle broken sidewalks and lighter cobblestones or easier off-road conditions when you need it to, though, that being said, overdoing it with such conditions will accelerate wear and loosening. Moving on, the Parcel weighs in at a slightly heavier 6.9 kilos and folds down to a larger 75 by 49 by 29 centimeters. It can take the same 22 kilos in the seat and 4.5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. As far as child comfort is concerned, the Parcel has a similarly newborn acceptable recline, while its upright position is significantly more vertical. Size-wise, the Parcel seat has nearly identical measurements to the Packed Pro, with the only notable differences being that the backrest is a little shorter, 47 versus 51 centimeters, the leg rest a tad longer, 17 versus 14, and there being a bit more space under the canopy. With regards to other aspects of the seat, the Parcel unfortunately also feels a bit on the cheap side, with similarly thin padding, a canopy that's also a bit too short for the reclined position, and shoulder straps that also need to be rethreaded to change elevation. That being said, the Parcel seat does have an advantage over the Packed Pro in that the mechanism for regulating the position of the seat is built a bit sturdier. Moving on to parent comfort, the Parcel's handle has the same fixed height of 102 centimeters, though its shopping basket protrudes a little more off the rear, making it somewhat easier to access. The Parcel doesn't fully auto-fold, you need to hold the handle as you press it down, though folding is still quite an easy process. That being said, the folding buttons are similarly loose, and the model is even larger when folded, and thus even less likely to pass as cabin luggage. As far as how the Parcel feels to use, the chassis is similarly light and weak unfortunately, and also likely to loosen up and get rickety feeling as it wears down. In terms of terrain capability, the Parcel has the same noticeable suspension and the same sized front wheels as the Packed Pro, but slightly larger rear wheels, 17 versus 16 centimeters, and is capable of tackling the same sort of lighter rough conditions when you need it to, though, as with the Packed Pro, overdoing it here is likely to accelerate wear. So which one of these should you get then? Both of these models are built off a nearly identical chassis design, and though there are a few semi-relevant differences, such as the Packed Pro's slightly longer backboard and autofold versus the Parcel's more upright seat and marginally more accessible shopping basket, the truth is that both of these strollers are definitely on the weak side when looking at the wider market, and only really usable for occasional travel or lighter in and out of the car use. As a result, my feeling is that price is key here, making the Packed Pro a little more appealing in my opinion at $200 than the Parcel is at $250. Though that being said, if you're looking at either of these strollers, I'd note that there are other choices out there for only a little more that are a lot more durable. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as a sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.